the fortress in the city center, Antwerp, Belgium. Schoppenstraat. This street handles 80% of the world's rough diamond trade. It's not just a district, it's an open-air bunker. In the center stands the Antwerp World Diamond Center, AWDC. Its main vault is located 2 floors underground. In the early 2000s, it was considered the most secure in the world, a fortress impossible to storm. But history proved one thing. Where weapons fail, cold calculation and brilliant manipulation of human psychology prevail. The security system. Let's look at what the bold intruders faced. Magnetic sensors on the doors. If opened without authorization, the alarm triggers instantly. Seismic sensors. Any vibration from drilling or explosions locks down the building. Infrared barriers. A web of invisible beams throughout the room. A lock with 100 million combinations. A wheel that had to be turned with jeweler-level precision. And finally, light sensors. The moment a flashlight is turned on inside, the police are already on their way. The Italian tenant. 2 years before the heist, a new tenant appeared in the Diamond Center, Leonardo Notarbartolo. He presented himself as an Italian gem dealer. Notarbartolo was the perfect client. He rented a small office, paid rent on time, and visited his personal vault daily. He greeted the security guards, offered them coffee, and became one of them in this fortress. He was so charming that no one noticed the tiny detail, a hidden micro camera in his pen. The Turin School. For 27 months, Leonardo and his team, known in criminal circles as the Turin School, studied every inch of the vault. These were not amateurs. The group included the best of the best, the genius, alarm systems expert, the monster, a mechanic capable of breaking any physical lock, the locksmith, someone who could recreate a key from memory, and the king of keys, a microelectronics specialist. Training on a replica, they didn't rely on luck. The team built an exact replica of the vault in an abandoned warehouse outside the city. There they trained with eyes closed. They memorized the steps from the door to the first sensor, the angles needed to bypass the beams, and how to evade thermal cameras using ordinary household items. They became a single organism, each movement honed to perfection. D-Day, February 15th, 2003. Around the world, people celebrated Valentine's Day. Security was relaxed, and the city immersed in festivities. Notarbartolo's team entered the building through the office he had rented for 2 years. They climbed to the roof, descended via the elevator shaft, and stood before the main vault doors. At that moment, the real magic of the heist began. The magnetic trick. To bypass the magnetic sensors, they used aluminum plates with powerful neodymium magnets. They attached them to the doors so cleverly that even when the massive doors opened, the sensors continued to signal that they were closed. The security system saw a locked entrance, while the thieves were already at the threshold. Hairspray versus lasers. To fool the infrared motion detectors, the genius used a method that sounds like a movie joke but worked in real life: ordinary hairspray. He sprayed it on the sensor lenses, creating a thin film that temporarily blocked detection of human body heat. The thieves became invisible to the electronic eyes. The key in the mop closet. The final challenge: how to open a lock whose code only 2 top managers knew. During his visits, Notarbartolo noticed a detail. When guards entered the antechamber before the vault, they sometimes peeked into a storage room. Leonardo installed a hidden camera there. It turned out the guards were so confident in external security that they left a copy of the main vault key in an ordinary mop closet. 100 million in trash bags. Inside, the thieves faced total darkness. They couldn't turn on lights because of photosensors, so they worked by touch, using only dim LEDs. Over 4 hours, they opened 123 of 160 safes. The floor was covered with scattered jewels. They filled huge bags with stones, ignoring heavy silver bars. Losses amounted to over $100 million. The silent escape. They left as quietly as they had entered. No sirens sounded. Security, watching the monitors, only saw a static image that the King of Keys had fed into the system through a pre-installed device. By Sunday morning, Antwerp still had no idea it had become the center of the largest gem theft in history. It was the perfect heist, if not for one foolish, almost accidental mistake. The team had agreed to destroy all evidence in the forest on the way to Italy. Notarbartolo entrusted this task to his old friend Pietro. But Pietro panicked. He was afraid the police would stop them. Instead of burning the trash, he simply threw it into the bushes on the side of the road in a Belgian village. The next morning, a local farmer named August van Camp went out onto his land. He was furious that someone had dumped trash on his property again. He called the police, expecting them to find some teenagers. But as the officers rummaged through the piles of papers, they found checks from the Antwerp Center, mail addressed to Leonardo Notarbartolo, and a half-eaten sausage sandwich. It was this uneaten sandwich that became the verdict. Experts were able to extract a DNA sample from it. Since Leonardo already had minor legal issues in Italy, his data was in the database. The police couldn't believe their eyes. They had direct evidence against the man who had access to the vault. Leonardo Notarbartolo was arrested when he returned to Antwerp a few days later. He was so confident in his innocence that he came to check his office. The Belgian court sentenced him to 10 years in prison. His accomplices received shorter terms. But the diamonds, they disappeared. The Antwerp police created a special unit called Diamond. Officers worked around the clock. In the trash left by Pietro, they found a receipt for purchasing an identical surveillance system. Investigators discovered that a few months before the theft, Leonardo had bought it, disassembled it down to the last screw, and studied the blind spots. It was a level of preparation akin to military intelligence. While Leonardo remained silent, detectives were searching for the monster. It turned out to be Sandro Bertoni. In everyday life, he was a quiet workshop owner, but at night, he became a safe-cracking legend. When the Carabinieri raided his home in Italy, they found hand-drawn blueprints of the vault's internal mechanisms, precise down to the millimeter. During interrogations, Notarbartolo began revealing his sensational version. Many safes were already empty when they opened them. He claimed that the merchants themselves had hired them to claim insurance. Whether this was a cover-up or part of the truth remains unknown. Police traced the gang's route from Antwerp to Turin. They checked every mailbox, every locker. Empty. One theory suggests the diamonds never left Belgium and were handed off to a middleman in the city, right under the police's noses. Huge trials began in London. Companies refused to pay compensation to dealers, arguing that the heist was impossible without inside help. The courts dragged on for years, exhausting the resources of both sides. It turned out that a year before the heist, a shell company from Turin conducted renovation work in the center. They installed microscopic radio transmitters near vibration sensors, which would have allowed the gang to hear the safe's mechanisms from afar. If it hadn't rained that day in Belgium, Pietro could have burned the bag. But the rain soaked the papers, and the fire wouldn't catch. The fate of $100 million depended on an ordinary cloud over a Belgian highway. Among the stolen items was a unique stone, the Blue Star, valued at $10 million. The gem never appeared on the market. Perhaps it was recut, lowering its value, or maybe it still lies in a secret stash, serving as the gang's retirement fund. After his second release from prison, Leonardo became paranoid. He was convinced that both the police and the mafia were watching him. He frequently changed cars and used only encrypted communication channels. In 2016, Notarbartolo met with a journalist and admitted, "The hardest part was realizing that we became legends because of our own foolishness." This was his only sincere attempt to explain the failure of the perfect plan. Today, guards at the Diamond Center are forbidden from any informal communication with clients. The security system is now designed by psychologists to minimize the impact of the human factor. Leonardo's former accomplices have disappeared. Rumor has it they live under new identities. Their expertise has made them highly sought-after consultants in the shadow world of electronics and mechanics. In Antwerp, there is a museum displaying models of broken doors. It serves as a reminder to dealers that security is only an illusion, lasting until a true master appears. In 2022, a photo of a diamond from the Antwerp batch briefly appeared on a private forum. This is considered a signal that the diamonds have begun to move and are entering the market in small portions. Leonardo Notarbartolo entered history as the man who outsmarted lasers but lost to a sofa. He proved that the mind is stronger than steel, but chaos is stronger than any plan. In 2024, versions emerged suggesting the gang's connection with Italian syndicates that provided them with logistics. This explains how they managed to vanish so quickly from the crime scene. 123 safes, that's hundreds of kilograms. How did they carry it out? A new theory suggests the use of sewer channels running near the vault. The diamonds could have been simply flushed into a pre-prepared reservoir outside the building. The keymaster used 3D modeling at a time when it was still science fiction. He proved that even the most complex metal key is just a set of numbers and coordinates that can be stolen remotely. Today, the gang's followers operate in the digital realm, hacking cryptocurrency exchanges. Notarbartolo's methods, observation, studying habits, and finding the weak link, have become classics of cybercrime. This story captivates because there was no violence. It was a pure intellectual duel. Leonardo Notarbartolo will forever remain the man who accomplished the impossible, reminding us that even the most secure system always has a loophole, if you are patient enough to find it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, give a like, and stay tuned for many interesting stories based on real events.